You know what will happen when it's live.
I do believe...
ABC.
Like a reheated corpse.
Well, that's about average.
Look, I'm not a morning person. Coffee would help.
Well, we got 8 kinds of decaf. You'll get your meds after you eat.
Ugh.
What, you're not hungry?
Well, I suppose that I could stomach some broth and some fruit on a tray.
Ah, well, all the residents eat in the common room. But if you hurry, you can still get breakfast.
Breakfast? It's afternoon.
Oh, no, you're on Pacific time now.
I feel like I'm entering the Twilight Zone.
You, okay if I park my stuff? Hey.
No, I'm afraid you have the wrong room.
Lois, this is Erica. Hey, we having fun yet? Lois is your roommate.
My room? Lois?
Just plain Lois. Nobody knows from last names around here.
Out of respect for our guests' privacy.
Privacy is a luxury that I surrendered years ago. Living as I do in the public eye. I can't cross the street without being recognized.
Why? Are you somebody special?
Thanks, Curie. Run those proofs down a layout stat. Okay. Joe! Excuse me. Talk to me. Come on in. Legal give the green light? All right. Lock it down for April. Thanks.
So, this is what magazine editors do.
Welcome to my world. Is that R&D on the tax reform cover? Shanna, you are a gentlewoman and a scholar.
What a benevolent despot.
Yes, it's the corporate combo. Iron fist, velvet glove.
Oh, no wonder Kelsey loves working here.
Yeah, so much so she took the day off.
Oh. I was kind of hoping to take my granddaughter out for a belated birthday lunch.
Well, it's come to be known in our house, the belated birthday bust. Maria and I messed up.
Really? Did you hear Kelsey tell it? That lunch at the Valley Inn was to die for. She said everything from soup to birthday serenade.
It was the least I could do.
Meant everything to Kelsey. You're a good influence on her, Edmund. I don't think I've ever seen her so happy.
Joe, is there such a thing as too much happiness?
Excuse me?
I'm just getting the uneasy feeling that Kelsey's abandoned plans to go back to Oregon after the baby's born. She's starting to think of Pine Valley as home.
Let me repeat the question, and this time, please answer it yes or no. Now, were there times after Louis Greco's release from prison that you feared that your fiancé, Noah Kiefer, would kill him? Yes or no, Miss Santos?
Yes. I was desperately afraid something like that might happen. But I was also afraid that I'd kill myself.
Your Honor, I ask that the witness' last remark be stricken from the record.
Objection. Overruled. The jury will disregard the last statement.
Why? It's true.
Order.
I
Witness is dismissed.
Your Honor.
Step down.
No, let me explain. This isn't fair.
Step down. Step down or I'll find you in contempt.
I wanted Louis dead. I hated him. Noah hated him. Everybody hated him.
Step down. The jury will disregard this witness's outburst. Settle down, everybody. Settle down. I will have order in my courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a request from defense counsel to address this court without the jury present. Bailiff?
That can't be legal. Jack was begging me to crucify Nora. Do something.
I'm doing it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Save it.
No, Jack made me say...
Nobody made you do anything. You did it, Jay. You killed us.
Miss Santos, take your seat. Mr. Dillon, you have something to say to this court unfit for jurors' ears?
I do, Your Honor. In light of Miss Santos's testimony, I request a short recess to confer with opposing counsel.
A sidebar is not sufficient?
Not in this case, Your Honor, no.
Very well. But the operative word is brief, Mr. Dillon. This court will recess for 15 minutes.
Please, may I have a minute?
Go away. I got nothing to say to you.
No.
Believe it, Jay. Give me that hit.
No, listen to me. I love you. I didn't mean to hurt you.
You were under oath, Mija. You had to tell the truth. Vincent, well, let's go outside.
Keeper's cooked.
Yeah, well, that's not exactly a newsflash.
Cut me a deal, Jack.
A deal? Come on, Trevor, it's a little bit late in the game for a deal, don't you think?
What if I get Kiefer to plead guilty?
What do you want from me, Trevor?
I want you to wave your DA's magic wand. I want you to reduce the charge to manslaughter. Maximum sentence 10 years. If Kiefer keeps his nose clean, he's paroled in 5. What do you say?
I say you tell me how I can do that when all the evidence points to this being premeditated.
Jack, he was provoked.
Oh, come on. We're not talking about two guys who spontaneously mixed it up in some barroom brawl on a Saturday night. When he went after Louis Greco, he went after him with murder on his mind.
Jack, feature this. If, God forbid, some slime-sucking creep got a hold of Lily, got away with it, then came back, kidnapped her, drugged her, decided to take her out of the country, you'd go after her. Why? What, to teach him the error of his ways? No, you and I both know that this guy doesn't know right from wrong from a hole in the ground. He's ripped out a piece of your soul and he's chewing it up. He's not going to sit on his hands while you give him some Sunday school sermon. So you decide to teach him this lesson a little more forcefully, let's say. Just so happens that the beating you give, maybe, contributes to his ultimate demise. That's the same situation Noah is in. It's called extenuating circumstances. Jack, he's just protecting the woman he loves. The way you would have protected Lily, the way you protected Laurel. Were you above or below the law when you helped her dispose of her ex?
I was wrong. Trevor, that's what I was. I was dead wrong, and I regret it every day of my life.
Don't you think everybody has a little room for regrets? Don't you think Kiefer regrets the fact that Greco bought it? Accident or no?
What are you saying to me, accident or no? Are you saying that you would entertain the idea that Greco's death was something other than accidental?
Jack, I'm saying if I was in Kiefer's shoes, who knows, I would have done anything. Not that he did. Come on, Jack, you know it could have gone both ways. And in your heart of hearts, you know that Kiefer, in his soul, is an honorable man. Taylor, I'm not so sure.
All right, I'll tell you what. You get him to plead guilty to manslaughter, and I will lobby the judge for a 10-year maximum sentence. That's the best I can do.
Hey, your best is good enough for me. I just hope I can get Kiefer to go for it.
So, why'd you call time out?
Jack is willing to reduce the charges if you plead.
Plead what? Guilty? Get real.
Well, unfortunately, reality bites right now. We're talking about a reduction from murder to manslaughter.
Either way, I get tagged to killing, and I'm not one, so forget about it. I'll roast in hell before I plead guilty.
All My Children, brought to you by Pedialyte. Don't your kids deserve the best?
Did you sleep here?
No, I bunked down the hall.
It was better to let you get a feel for the place first. You'll be seeing a lot of new faces over the next month.
Don't worry, honey. I am not the gappy type. Women who live to yak just drive me out of my tree. I'll get my gear.
I have a roomie?
Oh, you'll love Lois.
I'm sure that I would. Just under other circumstances.
Well, is there a problem?
Look, you will probably think that I'm selfish. But I was an only child. I never shared a room with anyone until I was married. And in any case, I need breathing space.
I understand.
Well, if it's a question of money, certainly I'm willing to pay the difference so I can have a single room.
Oh, no. It's not money. It's policy. Everyone here shares a room.
Come on, surely there are exceptions.
No. All our guests are treated equally.
A rather well-known film star who was here and met her future, well, I guess now seemingly past husband. You're telling me that she used the common room?
Mm-hmm. And she loved our sesame bagels. You'll love Lois. Give her a chance. I'll see you after breakfast.
It gets better.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, first few days are a bugbear till you get to know the ropes.
Mind if I ask you a personal question?
Fire away. I'm not proud.
How long have you been here?
A couple of weeks. My roomie checked out. VE Day. Her old man and kids picked her up. What a hug fest. Two best words in any language. Going home.
Where's home for you?
Baltimore, Maryland. You?
Pine Valley, Pennsylvania.
Doesn't ring any bells. You married? Got kids? Me, I'm blissfully single. I was married, though. 5 years and 500 fights. Here's what I got to show for it. That's my daughter, Abby. She's just turned 12 and as boy crazy as they come. She's living with my mom till I get my act together. Yes, ma'am. She's gonna break a few hearts. Horse tracks. I'm a heroin addict. What gets your kite up there?
Erica reached a point where she couldn't even trust herself. Now to turn her recovery over to strangers.
Yeah, but if she was strong enough to make that choice, she's strong enough to stick with the program.
I tell you, tough love. You know, I knew that Erica had to seek help on her own, and that's why I pulled back. You know, held strong, but even when Erica was begging, I stood firm. But at night when I was alone, well, Erica was always with me. I could be at work, I could be juggling 100 things, but she was always in my thoughts. I have always missed her.
Dimitri, tough love doesn't mean no love. Actually, it's just the opposite.
No, I talked to her last night when she was on the plane, and she kept trying to apologize. And I wouldn't let her.
Maybe it's just a little too soon. I think if you give it time, you and Erica may find that your love is stronger than it ever was.
Yeah, well, you know, she's got to recover, and I have to, I got to get some perspective. look at things, what went down, and see what's left of our marriage.
No matter what happens, for better or for worse, you know that you have us and we love you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much.
Wow.
What? Hey, you don't look so good.
I don't feel so good.
Jack has presented a very strong case. We're a little light on the muscle here.
Well, you better bulk up in your summation then, because I ain't caving. Now, you make that jury see Taylor's running a scam.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. With the evidence presented the way it is right now, your best bet is to reduce your time in the pen by taking Jack's deal.
And I said no. It's a lie. I'm not copping to a murder I didn't do.
Noah, let me plead manslaughter. I'll present it to the jury. I'll present it as a crime of passion. They'll think you're a national hero.
Is this for real? I'm innocent, so I get life in jail. I lie, say I killed a man, get 5 years on a parade.
What's it gonna be?
How about the truth?
All rise.
Be seated. This court is resuming session. Are both counsels prepared to continue?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dillon, has the defendant elected to change his plea?
No, Your Honor, he hasn't. He will stand with his plea of not guilty.
Very well, bailiff. Bring the jury back in. Mr. Dillon, call your next witness.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Miss Montgomery, anything on redirect?
No, Your Honor.
If you're ready, we'll proceed to closing arguments.
First off, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for your attentiveness over the past several weeks. You've seen a lot of evidence. You've heard a lot of testimony. A lot of conflicting testimony given to refute or prove the existence of a particular gun. Now, the defense alleges that Louis Greco had this gun with him on the night of his death, and that he provoked his attacker, Noah Kiefer, and for that provocation, he paid with his life. However, after a very thorough search of that crime scene, that gun was never found. Now, lacking that gun, lacking that piece of physical evidence, or an eyewitness to prove that that gun ever existed, we can only come to one conclusion. And that conclusion is that Noah Kiefer, willfully and deliberately, with malice aforethought, beat a defenseless man to death. And now it is your job, it is your duty, to make sure that Noah Kiefer does not get away with murder.
What makes you think Kelsey's planning to stay on in Pine Valley?
Well, I put her in touch with the editor of Northwest Horizons magazine.
Oh, yes, I've seen that at the hospital.
Yeah, well, the editor's no buddy of mine. And it's published out of Portland. And I talked to him, told him about Kelsey. She's a bright girl, great writer and everything, and he's willing to set her up with an internship after the baby's born.
Sounds very promising.
Yeah, but not to Kelsey. I mean, she acts as if the mere thought of leaving Pine Valley just threw her for a loop, Joe.
You do know she and her mother don't get along.
Doesn't explain this scenario. Maria gave her a credit card for her birthday. Said, go out, buy yourself something you like. She came back with half of Lacey's department store. I'm not talking just a few clothes. I'm talking piles of clothes. Not maternity wear, Joe. Bikinis and mini skirts. I mean, things she can't possibly get into until way after the baby's born.
Well, Edmund, I will certainly reimburse you for
Oh, no, Joe, this isn't about the money. It's about Kelsey. I want to know what's going on inside of her head.
Whenever Ruth and I visited Tara, Kelsey seemed to spend most of her time in her room. Now, because Kelsey's living with you, you probably know my granddaughter better than I do.
Joe, I'm new to this parent game. I mean, you've raised kids. Tell me, am I Am I spoiling Kelsey?
Well, it's no secret. She's miserable at home. She ran away from her boarding school. Now she's living in a castle. You show me the young girl who hasn't dreamed of being a princess in a fairy tale.
Yeah, but she knows this fairy tale has her leaving the castle soon.
I'll have a talk with her.
Maria already did. Twice. About letting her know, for the sake of the baby, it's good for her to move after the baby's born. Kelsey claims to be cool about it.
But you don't believe her.
I just want all of us to have a happy ending.
The night Louis Greco was killed, Noah Keeper was out on bail pending assault charges brought by the deceased. The viewers of The Cutting Edge looked on in horror as Noah Keeper stormed that set and attempted to strangle Louis Greco with his bare hands. With his bare hands, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously his weapon of choice, even though we have it on record that he bought an illegal gun from a street dealer. Now, the defense would have you believe that Noah Keeper is incapable of such a thing. That he couldn't possibly take a human life, commit cold-blooded murder. Yet you heard a man who attests to being Noah Keeper's friend. Police Detective Derek Fry of the Pine Valley Police Department testified to the several occasions that he heard Noah Keeper swear that he would kill Louis Greco. Officer Taylor Roxbury Cannon, the only witness at the scene, she testified under oath that she saw Noah Keeper kill an unarmed man by bashing his head repeatedly against a steel beam until he was dead. Even Julia Santos, Noah Keeper's fiancée, testified to her very, very real fear that one day Noah would walk out that front door, hunt Louis Greco down and kill him. But the most damning testimony of all comes from the defendant himself. I'm reading directly from the record now, ladies and gentlemen. You're damn right, I wanted him dead. Thus spoke Louis Greco's self-appointed judge, jury, and executioner. Now, maybe Mr. Keeper thought that in this situation, taking a human life was right. But now it is your job to do the truly right thing. Based on the evidence, I charge you to find Noah Keeper guilty of murder in the second degree.
An urgent matter requires my attention. Mr. Dillon, we'll hear your final argument when I return.
All rise.
Please, wait just a minute. Please, I know we can't touch.
Just stay away from me.
No, please, you have to listen to me. I was nervous. Jack kept hammering me with questions. I couldn't think. I didn't know where he was leading until it was too late. Please, you have to believe me. You have to know that I would go to prison first before I would do anything to hurt you.
You've been lying to me all along, haven't you, Julia?
No. Never. No. I believe you with all my heart.
Look at me. You see, your eyes don't lie, Jay. See, I can see deep down in there someplace you really think I killed Louis Greco, don't you? I look at you, I see the truth staring back at me, Jay. So why don't you just come out and say it? Say it, Jay. Say I killed Louis Greco in cold blood.
What do you want me to say, Noah?
Say what's in your heart. Say it, Jay.
It doesn't matter what I think. It's what the jury thinks.
Well, you pretty much cinched that with your testimony, didn't you? Nothing you say means anything after that.
If only they had found Louis' gun.
Oh, so now you need proof, huh? Suddenly my word ain't good enough anymore, huh?
I want to believe you, Noah. Honestly, I do. And I know that whatever you did, you had a good reason. And I forgive you for that, no matter what.
You think I killed Greco?
You did it to protect me. Because you loved me.
I loved you.
Noah,
Go away.
don't look at me that way.
What way? Like I don't know you? Go on, beat it.
Noah.
You were supposed to be the one. The one to stand by me. The one who saw good when everybody else saw bad. What you see is a fool. A great big sorry fool.
I'm sorry.
What the hell are you trying to prove?
I was trying to prove my case.
Yeah, you cut Noah into little pieces and you feed him to the
No,
jury.
all I did was I asked him questions.
Right, and I thought Noah was your friend.
Noah is my friend. Trevor's my friend, too, but we happen to be on opposite sides. What is this, son? You think I'm having a good time out there, huh? I'm not paid to have a good time. I'm paid to uphold the law.
Uphold the law? What law is that? Is that the law that lets Greco deal drugs to little kids and lets them out of jail early? No, I know. It's the one that lets Greco walk after he breaks into my sister's apartment. No, I know. It's the one that lets him rape my sister, then get away with it. You know, if you don't went after Greco, the
You
way
know,
he
if
went...
Louis Greco was alive, I'd go after him with everything I've got. I would see that he paid for every rotten, nasty thing he ever did to your sister or your family or anybody else for that matter. But he's dead, isn't he? And it looks very much like Noah's the man that killed him. Now, that's the way it is. You like it or not.
Just take a deep breath, repeat after me. It ain't over till it's over.
Well, no fever.
Yeah, but you're nauseous, you're tired.
Dimitri, who's the doctor here?
Yeah, well, it's a reflex. All the women in my life are in a medical crisis.
Well, not me. I just, common sense says the flu lasts for about a week. And, I've had waves of it for a while now, so... For so long, actually, that I had forgotten.
Forgotten what?
Do you know what the date is today?
Why? Maria?
I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. Oh, wow.
Maria, take it easy now. Take it easy.
Dimitri, I think I might be pregnant.
Did you say pregnant?
Possibly. Pregnant? Yeah, well, I had my second laparoscopy, and it went pretty well. I had my scar tissue removed from my fallopian tubes, and Dr. Kademi said that my chances were still infinitesimal of conceiving, and that I shouldn't get my hopes up, but...
You know?
If it's 1 in 10 million, maybe... I mean, maybe this is the one, and maybe this is the miracle baby that I've been praying for.
I hope your prayers are answered.
Oh, goodness.
Hail the conquering editor. Ink stained but unbowed. I give up. Who swallowed the canary?
Well, I'm not going to tell.
What's the big secret? Never mind. I have ways of making you talk.
You never said what you're in here for. You don't belong here. That's what you're thinking. Yeah. Any minute now, the director's going to come in with a dozen roses and your walking papers, saying how sorry they are. They wasted your precious time.
It was a mistake. I don't belong here.
With all us alkies, junkies, hot...
I am not a junkie. I had a terrible accident. I injured my back and I was in excruciating pain. The doctor prescribed medication.
And you got hooked. Same thing happened to me.
No, there is no comparison. Prescription medication is not the same.
It's heroin. They're both chemicals. They're both addictive as the devil.
I was in pain.
So you pop pills to take the pain away. There's all kinds of pain. We hurt in different ways. You had an aching back. I had a husband who used me as a punching bag.
I had a legitimate medical problem. It never occurred to me that I would become dependent.
Me neither. First time my husband turned me on to smack, he just worked me over pretty good. I was going to call my mom to take me to emergency, but Richie talked me down. He was really good at that. Anyway, he took the kid out, and I watched him get the hit ready. Told me it would take the pain away. That's all I had to hear. I woke up the next morning, my arm broken in 2 places, and a heroin habit. For 8 years, all I cared about was getting high. Now all I care about is getting clean. And staying clean. Guess you want the same thing, huh? Well, I got group. I'll catch you later.
My client is an honest man. Now, how do we know this? Because he got up on the stand and he said flat out he wanted to see Louis Greco dead. But saying you want somebody dead and making it so, it's 2 different things. Lord knows it. Saying made it so, my ex-mother-in-law would be pushing up daisies right now. I'm sure you can all relate to that. I'm sure one of you has a spouse who's a nag or has a tax auditor breathing down your neck. Maybe you have a neighbor that shovels the snow off his walk onto your driveway. You just want the earth to open up and swallow them whole. Noah Kiefer is just like you and me. He's human. Hatred is a human emotion. And this man had every reason to hate. This Louis Greco, pimp, drug dealer, raped the woman he loved, held her prisoner. He had every reason to hate. But folks, it is a long road to hoe from hate to homicide. Now let's talk about this smoking gun. We're not talking about no cap pistol here. We're talking about a lethal weapon that Julia Santos swore Louis Greco used to abduct her from her house. She told the truth. She saw the gun. The gun was there. Now, how do we know that she didn't make up some story to cover for Noah Kiefer, to protect him? Because she told the same story to the cops before Noah ever went after Greco, before Greco breathed his last stinking breath. We get to the crime scene. There's no weapon to be found. The gun. This gun. Where's the gun? Who has the gun? Officer Taylor Cannon. Only she and Noah Kiefer really know how Louis Greco died. And Officer Cannon testified on the stand that she was in love with Noah Kiefer, so much so that she lied about being evicted so that she could move in with Mr. Kiefer. When she became a little bit terrified that she was going to lose Mr. Kiefer to Miss Santos, the woman he always loved, that love turned a little bit wacko. She became obsessed. She even went to Mr. Kiefer the day of his wedding and begged him to run away with her. A sworn officer of the law begging to become a fugitive with a man that, quote unquote, is a cold-blooded murderer. When Noah told her to get lost, thank you, but no thank you, then, and only then, did she reluctantly come forward and tell us about this new splash that, in fact, Mr. Kiefer had killed Mr. Greco in cold blood with his bare hands. My client has everything to lose. He told the truth. Officer Cannon has nothing to lose. That makes her dangerous.
So try Robitussin cough drops. Cough drops from the cough experts.
It's time to pick up the phone and tell us what you think about Pine Valley. Call us at Soap Talk at 1-900-740-5000. Rate the stories. You can make a difference. That's 1-900-740-5000. Call us now.
95 cents per minute.
Erica? Excuse me. They're waiting for you in X-ray.
X-ray?
Yeah, Dr. Ritter is staff orthopedist at Eisenhower Medical Center. He's here to see if your back is healed properly.
Of course.
Look, before we go, I'm supposed to be honest, with my feelings. Isn't that prevailing philosophy around here?
Sure. Sure, feel free to say whatever's on your mind.
Okay, this thing with this roommate, this is not working.
Give it a chance.
There is no point. Lois and I certainly have nothing in common. I cannot be a roommate with a heroin addict.
If Lois was an alcoholic, would that be more acceptable to you?
Look, I don't condone recreational drug use. If Lois is addicted, that is her fault.
But anyone can become drug dependent. Teachers, lawyers, judges, celebrities. It doesn't matter what substance they abused or how they became addicted. What matters is their will to get well again. As for having nothing in common, you're rooming with Lois for a reason. Doctor's waiting.
You are absolutely beaming.
I do have that certain glow, don't I?
What the hell happened when I was at work?
Actually, it happened while you were here. At home with me. In bed.
You were playing the highlights of our love affair to my brother?
No. It was more like a preview of things to come. Okay. Do you remember how positive Dr. Kadami was about my second laparoscopy results?
How positive are we talking here?
Well, I don't know anything for sure yet, but based on certain symptoms and the fact that Mr. Monthly Visitor is several days late, I think that I might be pregnant.
Baby. Baby.
This court will be in recess until the jury has reached a verdict.
Noah, I thought I could do this, but I can't. I can't let you go to prison.
Tonight, when a gang of thugs break into a police warehouse, Steve and Carl bust them up with a martial arts extravaganza. It's a night of action on an all-new Family Matters. Then Sean's reputation catches up with him when he gets dumped by a girl he really likes. But when Corey and Topanga give him some advice on girls, will he be able to get her back? Don't miss an all-new Boy Meets World. Can Blair charm Patrick into becoming a pawn in her revenge scheme against Marty? Stay tuned for One Life to Live next.